Hello and welcome to the Animation Triad. To the Animation Triad. Welcome.
I am no better, and neither are you. We are the same, whatever we do. You love me, you hate me, you know me, and then you can figure out the bag I'm in. I am everyday people.
Hello and welcome to Animation Triad, your guide to the many worlds of animation. I, of course, am your humble host, Stu, and with me, as usual, is...
Teddy D.
That's right. And joining us today for the first time, my good friend and brother-in-law!
Larry.
That's right. And today, well, Larry, what are we reviewing today?
Today we're reviewing the Black Panther, the miniseries.
Now, we here at Animation Triad have some quick questions for you. Do you like anime? Do you like cartoons? Do you like animated stuff in general? Well, if so, then we are the channel for you. That's right. Click, hit, like, subscribe, comment, and hit that notification bell to get all the animated reviews you could want. Now, before we jump into the review, we are, of course, as usual, going to discuss the three topics for today's episode. And they are...
The voice cast.
The transition from comics to television.
and the interesting animation style that went into this production. So strap in, initiates, and welcome to the Triad.
The Black Panther series was produced by the Marvel Knights Animation, and it was aired on BET in 2010.
This would be the first animated series released by BET since 2003's Hey Mona.
The series consists of 6 20-minute episodes available on DVD or 12 10-minute episodes available on Amazon.
The series was written by Reginald Hudith, the writer of Baby Kids and the director of The Ladies' Man.
It was directed by Mark Brooks, who is famous for writing and directing Metalocalypse. Well, one of the writers.
And lastly, it's based off the Black Panther comic entitled Who is the Black Panther by John Romita Jr.
So, now that we've got the basic information out of the way, let's summarize this series.
Boom.
Black Panther is the ruler and protector of the African nation of Wakanda. He uses his abilities, his wits, and his fighting abilities in order to protect his nation from the impending invasion of Ulysses Claw.
I'll get you gadget.
Not
Tangent time.
Oh.
Though very appropriate, I will admit. When there's a tangent, there's the tangent jar.
Yes, I don't apologize for that.
It's alright. Well, that's the summary according to IMDb. It's actually fairly accurate. It's a short series, as we said earlier. And, well, the question is, do we really want to go too far into it? Because it is such a short series that you should probably just watch it. I mean,
True.
we're gonna
It was good.
we'll talk about some stuff about it. We're gonna get our thoughts out of the way right away, I think.
Exactly.
Would we recommend this? Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Definitely. We're going to go a bit more in detail and talk about those subjects we mentioned earlier. But for the most part, it pretty much summed it up really well. It explains the history of the Black Panther. It tells you the origins of the current Black Panther. It teaches you the history of Wakanda and its role in the world and the world's relationship to it, which I found to be very interesting.
I think that was probably the most interesting thing for me throughout the series is how they fit into the world, and well, they just kind of kept the world out for the majority of their existence. It was, I don't want to give too much away, but there is a part where I think it's like when the British were colonizing Africa.
I think it was the Belgians.
The Belgians?
Yeah, because Ulysses Claw is Belgium.
Fair enough.
They do make a point of that.
Well, I think everybody was trying.
Everyone
Yeah.
tried.
Everybody.
Everyone tried.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Everybody.
But
Tried
it was during that
Americans.
time, and they find Wakanda, and there's satellite dishes.
Yeah.
Wakanda. It's everything the legend says it is. Weird-looking buildings, though.
and it's pretty crazy. And I thought that was really interesting. You know, it's just you have this society in the middle of nowhere. They're already where we are, while everybody's still like horse and buggy and all that fun stuff.
That was cool, I gotta admit. And just seeing how everyone related to them and stuff. And, I mean, they even have moments where they're like this, well, we're given the backstory in the premise of a debriefing for someone in the government.
Right.
Who, I wish they'd made this a little bit more clear. That was that's one of my critiques with this. There are a few points which I'm sure was explained more in the comic.
Yeah.
That really didn't get explained too much was, who is this person that they're debriefing exactly? And they say her name, but I can't remember it for the life of me, unfortunately.
Right.
And she doesn't really play that much of a role other than like instigating things.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of different factors to this. As we said, Ulysses Claw is trying to kill the current Black Panther and create an invasion, and he's getting backing from a bunch of different places. I would say a neighboring country, Naganda, oddly enough, Rome. Which
that was kind of weird.
That was, but kind of fitting sometimes. If you go on, it made me. You know what it made me think of? Helsing, with the church in Helsing.
Right.
That's what it made me think of. Yeah.
That's a good comparison.
No, and I thought that was very interesting too. The political intrigue. You know, it's a lot of countries like they wanted to invade, but they did not invade.
Yeah.
You know, type of deal.
Then you had like the what were they? The Death Clocks.
Deathlock.
Deathlock. That's it. The Deathlocks were
kind
quite
of
cool.
Yeah, it's interesting because Marvel recently they've been kind of like scraping the bottom of the barrel. Like that's why you have characters like Rocket Raccoon. He was made in the probably early '80s, and he didn't get much popularity until recently.
Yeah, with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's I think that's what happened. Deathlock was another like kind of obscure character.
Well, he's in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
They had someone representing him show up in it.
Oh nice.
So that was kind of neat.
Yeah,
and
that was
I
cool.
like the actor who plays him. He was Gunn in Angel.
Oh.
Yeah,
sweet.
James Gunn in Angel. That was cool, and I'm going to have to pay for that tangent.
That's.
Yes.
I think we both should.
Yeah, we probably should.
Okay.
So yeah, as we said, there's a lot of political intrigue going on with this. You learn the backstories of not only Wakanda, the current Black Panther, which it is a title passed down through the family line.
Yes.
But they make a point of this. Anyone can challenge the Black Panther to take on the mantle
Yes.
and become the next ruler of Wakanda. And this actually causes some infighting between the current Black Panther and his cousin, and actually his sister too, because it can be passed from either man or woman. It's whoever wins. And her sister feels a bit cheated because, well, she didn't even get to attempt to challenge the previous Black Panther. He kind of just jumped in and kicked butt.
Right.
So, yeah. I will say this, the action was pretty good, I will admit.
It was alright.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't myself. I didn't really care for the animation. It felt so stiff to me.
Well, that's when we're going to have to get into our first big issue. This is not a traditionally animated series. This is what would be considered a motion comic. Now, this is something that was kind of tossed around and, in all honesty, theorized back in the early 80s or so by, I think it was Philip K. Dick, actually, mentioned something about this. But it's become a bit more, I don't know if I want to say prevalent, but you see it popping up here and there every so often.
It's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, and this is me. I haven't seen it be utilized very well. I mean, like I've seen motion comics that I had to stop watching because I felt like I was suffering motion sickness because they just started. They're just so wavy and it's just.
I could
hurts my
see
eyes.
that.
Yeah.
This
wasn't so bad. I just felt it was stiff. All the motion was stiff.
I can see that, and that is a critique of it. it literally looks like you're reading the comic, watching the comic basically, because it is literally the comic's art, and it's
coming to life.
Coming to life in a way, but it's still, as you said, a little stiff. There are some moments when the fight scenes look pretty good,
Yeah.
but it doesn't really hold a candle to a lot of action scenes you would see in like Batman the Animated Series. It doesn't have the fluidity
It does.
for something like that.
Which, I mean, cool conceptually. I
Oh,
do
yeah.
like. Yeah.
The art style was fantastic.
It was very interesting. The story was pretty solid. I felt it could have been a little more fluid, as you said. But that's really the only thing I did not like about it. But for the most part, yeah,
Yeah, all right. And Larry, any thoughts on the animation style?
I liked it. I actually did.
Okay.
It's a little different than the usual animated styles, and it kind of flows really, really evenly. This one was it was kind of blocky, but the fight scenes, like, based on the style they went with, they actually did a pretty good job, as far as I'm concerned.
Fair enough. I'm inclined to agree. I mean, I see your point exactly, but I can agree with that. It stood out to me. The animation made it. This made it stand out. Now, I do wish they'd given it a bit more. You know what I'm going to compare it to? Actually, I'm going to compare it to HBO's Spawn. Now that animation.
That was really good.
That was really good. I loved the first season of Spawn the Animated Series.
Yeah.
And if they had gone with something closer to that, I think it would have been probably a little better. But seeing as how they captured the art of the original comic, like, exactly, I can't complain too much, because that is a pet peeve of mine. When they adapt, like, a comic or something into an animated series or something, and they look almost nothing like the original counterparts.
Right.
Or they've just changed up the designs to make it easier to work with. I'm like, I can understand why you did it, but I'm like, I want to see that original art style. That's why I love it.
Yeah, and that's cool. I mean, again, conceptually, that's awesome. And the artwork was beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
It was really good. I just wish it flowed a little better than it did. That's the only gripe I have.
Very true. Well, I think with that out of the way, we should move on to the voice cast. And this has quite the voice cast.
Oh, yeah.
As T'Challa, the Black Panther, we're going to put his name down here because I love this guy's work, but for the life of me and us, we can't pronounce it. And we're sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Great job, though, really. He does a fantastic job as T'Challa.
This guy is...
Yeah. Interesting little side note, a little bit of trivia for you. All the members of the Wakanda royal family have actually also been in live-action Marvel films.
Oh.
The actor for T'Challa, the Black Panther, was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh.
His mother, the Queen Mother, I should say, as portrayed by Alfre Woodard, who was in Captain America Civil War, and I believe she was also in Luke Cage.
Oh.
Yeah, two different characters, oddly enough, but whatever.
And she plays two characters in this, too.
Yes, she does.
Oh.
She plays I think she was supposed to be a senator or some sort of like military official.
She was part of
I
the
didn't notice
president's
that.
cabinet. Yeah.
Yeah.
She played the senator too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
That was good.
And then we have Shuri, T'Challa's sister, voiced by Kerry Washington, who was in Fantastic Four. Those movies.
Oh, nice.
Not technically part of the Marvel universe, but Marvel films nonetheless.
At least
The good ones.
If they have any say on it.
Yeah.
They're part of it.
Yeah. Another person of note we should mention is the voice of Storm, voiced by Jill Scott. That is some perfect casting right there, and I got to admit, my wife is a huge fan of Jill Scott, and she felt that Storm was horribly underutilized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a footnote to the whole
Yeah,
thing.
pretty much. I thought she could have been utilized a little better.
Right.
But I wonder if that's just one of the big differences between the comic and the actual.
I think one of the
TV
things
series.
is maybe probably another critique I had is they had quite a few characters from the comic, like lesser knowns and popular character. Like there's the Juggernaut, which I think everybody knows.
Oh yeah, everyone knows.
He's the Juggernaut bitch.
Which I gotta throw in one thing there.
Yeah.
That was changed.
Was it?
Yeah, in the original comic, the Juggernaut was not in it.
Oh.
It was the Rhino from Spider-Man, which makes this scene make a lot more sense.
I've always wanted to try that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then we had Claw.
The Claw.
Yes.
Gadget.
Not that one. I'm kidding.
Radioactive Man.
Radioactive Man.
Radioactive
Man.
Yeah, we
That
gotta
was
mention
cool.
Radioactive Man.
It's just when you think of the name, you don't think he was that great, but he did a great job.
No,
is
he-
exactly what
he
I
was
would expect him
right.
to be. Like this is
Yeah.
German, straight
Russian.
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 Sure. Good Lord.
Wasn't it a German one? Then?
No, it was Russian. They even make a...
How's it going in there, Igor?
The toilet is backing up again.
Well, we can't send someone in to fix it now. Radiation levels are too high.
Come on, you've got the tech to spare. It stinks in here. Now the Russians all hygienical. Just shove another bottle of vodka in there.
Yeah.
They made that joke. I mean, come on.
They made a lot of jokes.
You know, there actually was quite a bit of humor to
There's
this.
a lot of comedy in this. It had me chuckling.
No,
It had some good lines, I will
Yeah,
say.
they had a few characters that not a lot of people know about, but they had the Black Knight, the original Black Knight, because there was like I think there's a couple of them.
Yeah. I'd never heard of him before, actually.
Well, he's like I said, I think Marvel's been doing a lot of scraping the bottom of the barrel. You know, like here are characters that you haven't seen in years, and people don't even know exist. Like Batroc, or I think that's how you say it. He's
Oh, the leper.
yes,
Yeah.
the Leaper.
Leaper. Sorry, not leper.
No,
Leper.
that's a
Yeah,
very
yeah.
different power.
Yes.
Falling off.
Wow. That was...
arms.
You know what?
His origin has something to do with Radioactive Man.
Would that be considered an unintentional pun?
Yes.
Okay, well then, since it's a pun, we have the pun gun. Let's see if it goes. Ha! Nothing! And, of course, for the next one,
Who knows?
who knows? Who knows?
But Batroc was actually one of my favorite characters.
He was great. I
He
really
was
liked
cool.
him.
I didn't never heard of him.
Oh no, he's been a thorn in the Avengers side for a long time.
Because he can just jump from body to body.
No, that's Cannibal.
That's Cannibal?
We're going to talk
Yes.
about him.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
It later.
yes.
Yeah.
No, Batroc was he had the
He was the French dude.
he was the French fellow.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
He's a
I
master
got
of the French martial art known as savate.
Mm-hmm.
It's a French kickboxing form.
So he's
And-
Jean-Claude Van Damme, basically.
Basically, but evil.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I actually really liked him. And then you mentioned Cannibal, who I'd never heard of, and I actually thought was really cool. But it did leave a cliffhanger in the series.
It did.
Everything just gets wrapped up, basically, except for Cannibal, who we're not going to spoil what it is exactly.
Right.
But Cannibal is left with a big cliffhanger as to
Right.
what's going on. That was my one kind of big issue with it.
It seems that they had planned to do more. It just didn't happen.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because
Yeah.
it was a really good series,
It was.
and I would have loved to see more of it.
Yeah.
Now, we did mention that that was like one of our big hang-ups with it. You said your hang-up was a little bit of the art.
Right.
I have two other little quandaries, little questions, little issues, I guess you could say. First being, towards the end of the series, there's a little dream sequence.
Come out! The Black Panther is ready for you! Really? Little man, I don't think you're ready at all. You are not ready.
So, why was the spirit of the Black Panther white? in that scene. That was
It
a little
was weird.
confusing.
Yeah.
I mean, it made it stand out more, being Spirit, I guess, maybe.
Well, I think in the comic, it's actually, it's supposed to be the Panther God. It's not the Black Panther God. It's just the Panther God.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, that makes a bit more sense now. Okay, we'll go with that.
Quick trivia.
Mm-hmm.
The Panther God actually said that Doctor Doom would be a great leader of the world. Look that shit up. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the Panther
Really?
God looked at, in the comics, the Panther God looks into all the possible futures, and the best future is when Doctor Doom takes over.
Okay. We have. Okay, let's hear this
Right,
tangent.
okay.
So there is an actual episode of not Spider-Man. It was Fantastic Four, the animated series. It was a while back,
Right.
where Doom actually ends up taking Doctor Doom ends up taking over the world and making his own society. And actually, it turns out to be a good society.
Right.
Like everyone has jobs. There's no poor. There's no the sick is instantly cured. It's actually really good. Look it up.
Okay.
Information about it.
Yes.
Well, I do have one question though, and this actually not a question. I just one little thing I wish would have happened, and this is just this is gonna most whitest thing I'm probably gonna say, and I apologize, but I wish they could have gotten someone to do a Peter Sellers impersonation for the the Panther God. I'm paying for that one.
Okay.
I'm paying for that one, but oh, Peter Sellers was a horrible human being. Oh, but he was a good actor.
True.
Yeah.
Now I'm replaying the series in my head with da-da.
Da-da, 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 da-da. And with that, we lead on to the music, which we opened with for our title card. I loved the opening music to this.
I did.
Oh, it was really good.
That was so good. The music was produced by Stephen James Taylor. He's basically famous for doing songs for Tiny Toons, G.I. Joe. What was one of the other ones?
Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse House. Yeah.
Um,
This is an awesome song.
yeah, it's a really cool song.
Yeah.
Like, I really enjoyed that. They merged kind of like hip hop
Mm-hmm.
and African like tribal music, and it was just a really beautiful blend.
You want to know the interesting thing is? He actually created the dialect for that. It was supposed to be the Wakandan dialect they're singing in.
Oh, really?
But it's actually based off Bantu, I believe, or
Okay.
I'm probably horribly mispronouncing it, and I do apologize.
No, it sounds like you're pronouncing.
I might be pronouncing it right, but you never know with me. I screw words up all the time. It's what I do. I am the destroyer of names and words in other languages. I apologize. Fear me.
I just say the wrong words.
Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, I actually really liked that, and I hope they have that show up in the actual Black Panther movie, because that'd be awesome.
That would be cool.
That'd be awesome.
But yeah.
It's like him just listening to it on his like.
Yeah.
I almost said iPod. How old am I?
Yeah.
But his phone.
Yeah.
Whatever they would have.
Yeah, whatever they-
They're probably
They're so
beyond
futuristic.
smartphones.
They were pretty beyond.
They literally have a Bluetooth, probably.
Yeah.
Just,
There's like literally a Bluetooth that just tells them everything.
who knows? But yeah. Well, I think that summarizes it pretty well.
Yeah.
If you can find this, go watch it. The DVD is like $7.99 on Amazon, or you can pay $1.99 per episode, and Amazon can get stuff for that one. Seriously, it's a 6-episode series. You split it in half to pad out the runtime and make more money. Screw you for that. Please don't come after us. Please don't. I take it all back.
Bring it.
Okay, but yes.
We don't want to make enemies.
Yes.
Don't
So-
want the ship to hit the fan.
Not yet. Anyway. So, with that, you know what? There is one last thing I think we should mention. Because, like in all good Marvel adaptions, there is a Stan Lee cameo.
Oh,
Yes.
We hope
love
you
these.
we hope you enjoy this one.
They can't do that. We're the United States of America. Where do a bunch of savages get off telling us they got a no-fly zone? Hey, what are they gonna do, throw spears at our jets? Did I say something wrong?
Well, we hope you enjoyed that clip. And if you enjoyed this show, we hope you click like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell for more animated reviews and awesome commentary by us. And don't forget to join us February 16th for our live cast review of the Black Panther movie. That's right, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We will be reviewing the movie as soon as we watch it on opening day. So check us out on February 16th on our Facebook page. As usual, I am Stu.
Teddy D.
Larry.
And don't forget to join us next time. Our final review for the month will be Afro Samurai. And we are Animation Triad.